He lasted until the 6th round before getting his face caved in. Literally, you can see the x-rays of his jaw online. Jake did not beat the count after absorbing the right hand that broke his jaw, and AJ got the KO. Guys, let me come out and say the story to me coming out of this fight is Jake Paul. This dude is a maniac in the best sense.
Miami boxing ring. Jake Paul finally faced the reality critics long predicted.
Ow.
Standing across from a 240-plus-pound Olympic gold medalist in Anthony Joshua,
How long?
accused of being a protected influencer, Paul saw that protection disappear when Joshua landed a decisive right hand in the 6th round, exposing the stark difference between entertainment boxing and elite heavyweight competition. What had once been dismissed as spectacle suddenly carried real consequences, underscoring the physical limits Paul can no longer avoid when facing world-class opponents.
This is the worst defense in boxing. Jake fires his signature overhand right while dropping his left hand. Although the shot lands clean, Joshua takes it well and goes to counter with his own right. But Jake completely crosses his arms, leaving himself wide open for the counter. So Joshua makes him pay with a right that hurts.
Most people see a knockout as the end of the story. But for Jake Paul, the aftermath proved far more serious. After the cameras shut off and the fight night spectacle ended, Paul was taken to the hospital with significant jaw injuries that required surgery and weeks of recovery. The damage underscored the real medical risks that come with stepping into the ring against elite-level opponents, serving as a stark reminder that boxing consequences don't end when the final bell rings.
AD doctor says I may not be able to eat solid food again. He also advised I stop talking shit I can't flush.
Even after suffering serious injuries, the reaction from boxing analysts surprised many, with Max Kellerman defending Jake Paul's mindset rather than criticizing the loss. Kellerman argued that Paul's relentless belief in himself, even when facing elite heavyweights, is what drives his career, framing it as dangerous confidence rather than delusion.
I know it was a lot like William Skull and Canelo Alvarez, where Skull was kind of outlanding Canelo upstairs, but there was nothing on the shots. But the fact is, actually, Jake Paul landed more clean punches to the head than Anthony Joshua did before the end of the fight. What he did was amazing.
Yes.
And guys, he also did something else by taking this fight. What Jake did was retroactively justify fighting a guy like Tank Davis, or even trying to make that fight. Because what Jake is demonstrating here is, okay, everybody, you're accusing me of having to fight an ancient Mike Tyson, or a tiny Tank Davis, or an old MMA fighter. I'm really thinking about how to make a global event that people are interested in, that captures your imagination. Watch this. I'll put myself on the short side of that.
Yes.
I'll get in and fight. It's not about who's bigger, who's smaller, who's older, who's younger. It's about what is a compelling event. By the way, whether or not you agree with that, I don't 100% agree with that way of thinking, but that's his way of thinking. He did it again, and I gotta take my hat off to him. I was amazed that he was able to get into the 6th round with Anthony.
Believe it or not, before the fight ending, Jake Paul was actually landing more clean head shots than Anthony Joshua, a statistic that stunned analysts and split opinion on the panel. Former NFL star Shady McCoy was especially critical, calling Joshua's performance hesitant and underwhelming, noting that for much of the fight, Joshua looked tentative, missed a high number of punches, failed to cut off the ring, and appeared to be carrying significant pressure rather than asserting control.
The game plan from both guys from round one. Jake was very mobile. I mean, he had the happy feet going. He was circling around the outside of the ring. He was not looking to engage in elongated combinations. He was not looking to stand in the center of the ring with AJ, and people are going to say Jake ran from AJ, and you're right. Because guess why? He absolutely had to. Again, talked about this in the build-up to the fight. He had to be mobile. He had to be on his bike. So yes, you're justified in saying Jake ran from him because he had to. He had to. And anybody that convinced themselves that Jake was going to walk to the center of the ring, stand in the phone booth with AJ, and trade punches until someone laid flat, you were lying to yourself, or you convinced yourself of something you saw in the promo. This was always going to be the way the fight went. I wasn't surprised at all that this is the way that Jake started and pretty much fought the entire time. I was a bit surprised that AJ didn't assert himself earlier. Now, again, it is very hard to hurt someone that doesn't want to engage in a continuous fight. Round one, very much a feeling out process for AJ. Didn't really look like he did much, but Jake didn't either. There was one right hand that AJ landed in the first round that shook Jake up. That's the danger that was coming for Jake.
Max Kellerman believes he understands why Anthony Joshua looked unusually tentative, pointing to what he calls the specter of disaster. Joshua was under immense pressure, knowing a quick win would earn little credit, while a single mistake against Jake Paul could have damaged his legacy instantly. That fear, Kellerman argues, slowed Joshua down, turning him into a cautious version of the aggressive heavyweight fans remember, and delaying a finish that many believe a rising prospect might have achieved far more quickly.
From the beginning to now, he has got better and better and
Absolutely,
better. And then another thing is, like, we keep forgetting that he's supposed to fight Gervonta Davis, and that happened fast.
Gervonta wouldn't have stopped him.
But hold on. And now you fighting Anthony Joshua?
Yes.
Like, so now you go.
Also, don't forget, that was an exhibition too. That would have been.
But I'm saying, like, the game plan to fight a guy that's 5'5" has to change drastically to fight a 6'6" heavyweight champ. Like, give him credit for that too.
And by choice, Shady.
But the problem with you, I'm having with right now, Max, and you let him off the hook. Anthony Joshua to be a heavyweight champ, the way y'all talk about him,
Shady's right.
he looked terrible.
I have to say,
and when
Shady's right.
Tyson Fury puts his hands on him, I can't wait.
Shady's right this time. I give Shady a lot of crap on the show about Joshua. I was disappointed. That wasn't
embarrassing.
I don't think
he
so.
He couldn't cut off the ring. A, right? That's concerning.
No feints.
I understand it's a bigger ring, right? It's 22 by 22. No feints. He's right. And I've seen a lot of people on social media saying Joshua went easy on him. I don't think so. I think Joshua was trying.
Look at Jake's face. You think he went easy?
I don't think he went easy.
He would have left the broken jaw out.
That's as dumb as the people who show you, like, Mike Tyson throwing the right hand that he stopped saying Mike was not trying to hurt Jake Paul. When, in fact, all boxing fans who know what they were looking at were very grateful that Jake didn't hurt Mike in that fight, right?
I agree.
AJ is a different story. This is what I would say about AJ's performance. There was supposed to maybe be another fight between now and the Tyson-Fury fight as a tune-up. Were I advising AJ, I would cancel that fight. No fights. Immediately. No more fights until you, because
no telling what happened type of thing.
There's no telling.
Even Malik Scott, a longtime trainer and respected boxing analyst, admitted his opinion changed after the fight. Scott entered as a skeptic, but said watching Jake Paul repeatedly get back to his feet and continue competing despite serious injury showed a level of toughness he didn't expect. Rather than looking for a way out, Paul stayed engaged and defiant. Until the end, a display of resilience Scott says can't be taught, and ultimately earned him newfound respect.
Come on.
No question. I mean, the fact that he would fight for a cruiserweight world title, he's fought, now he has had three real professional fights against guys around his size.
Chavez.
One of them was I'm not even talking about Chavez because he was old and came back. I mean, guys who are active fighters. He lost to Tommy Fury, and then he beat two guys in Florida in smaller events. But they were active fighters with winning records, okay? So on those three cruiserweight fights, he wants a cruiserweight title shot. Now, he'll get it if he wants it because he means a lot of money.
Money up.
Do you think he's ready to fight for a cruiserweight title, Malik?
In 4 or 5 fights, yes, I do.
Right, he needs another 4 or 5.
Yeah,
but the danger is he, just like with AJ, he could lose in one of those 4 or 5 fights.
I don't think so. I don't think so because the matchmaking, they've been doing a great job at that. The first chance he took was against Anthony Joshua. Look how he did. Shady, he did incredible.
By the way, when that fight ended, he was conscious.
Yes.
Like, the dude has so much heart.
He's
on the floor
that he had a broken
with a
jaw.
broken jaw, and he's like, "Whoa!" He was just happy to be a part of it.
And I was happy that I was happy for him because I had a lot of doubt, and he earned my respect.
Yes,
I'm a Jake Paul fan for sure. But let's just slow it down, fellas. Put the timeout, 30-second timeout. Who you gonna put him in there with? You said contending for a cruiser. Who's
the cruiserweight that just beat Badu Jack?
Yeah,
Noel McCallion.
Okay, give Jake Paul 4 or 5 more fights.
I think 4 or 5, and I think if you're going to do 4 or 5.
By the way, I don't disagree with that.
I think what you have to do, right, is get him ready for that. He has to be fighting like
you'll see.
washed up cruiserweights, right? Get him ready for that.
I'm good with that.
Champions.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Shady, even you being good with that is a lot. It's Jake Paul. We're talking about him fighting real cruiserweight with real records and beating him.
Can he beat his order?
As expected, social media quickly seized on Jake Paul's injuries, with Paul himself posting medical images online before jokingly calling out Canelo Alvarez for another fight. Analysts say the moment perfectly captured the mindset. Max Kellerman described a willingness to immediately turn even serious setbacks into promotion. The focus...
A great game plan and preparation, unbelievable heart. And the reality is...
Hold on, first off, it wasn't unbelievable heart. He was dancing around. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that because we have weight classes for a reason. But it wasn't unbelievable hard, right? It was a good show. It was a great show.
Jake lost because of the size difference, not because of the skill difference. AJ was hanging on that neck, pushing him down. And when you have someone that heavy constantly doing that, it does suck the energy out of you.
So Jake Paul lost because of the skill difference, not the size difference. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, insult this guy. I'm not. But I'm as a fighter, as a former fighter, as someone that's very experienced in the world of mixed martial arts and combat sports in general, right? This is a crazy shout. He lost because he was smaller. He lost because of the size difference. He also lost because he had no business being in there with him. Anthony Joshua is by far a better boxer. Of course he is. You know this. Every one of you watching this knows that. I know that. The whole world knows that. And of course, this guy's his manager, so he's going to spin it. But there is a reason why we have managers. We have managers to protect us from our...
Has now shifted to Paul's corner, with fans questioning whether trainers should have stopped the fight earlier as online debate continues over whether his team failed to protect him when it mattered most.